very cute
I was
apron.
laughing.
I
It's
love it.
very Mr. Rogers
Yeah.
moment where I maybe should sing Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Hello, and thank you for joining me today. I'm very excited to introduce my very, very good friend and client, Carrie Salerno, who is the Vice President of Marketing and Communications for Babson College. Welcome, Carrie.
I'm so excited to be here.
Me too. Carrie and I have worked together for many years. Carrie's worked in higher ed for
Almost 25 years.
almost 25 years.
Yep.
She and I met at Northeastern University,
Yep.
where she ran everything.
Enrollment marketing. We met on Huntington Ave.
We met on Huntington Ave for the
Yep.
first time. Over food.
Over food.
How
Oh my goodness, that's
perfect.
right.
Over food.
Yep, yep.
And all these years later, we still work together. And Carrie has done an incredible job at Babson, growing and building her team. And she also outsources to several agencies, including Hatch, which has been great over the years. And the question that I start with for everyone is, would you like to eat in or dine out? If you decide to eat in, we're going to talk about your fabulous marketing team and how you manage that team and grow that team over
right.
time. And if you decide you want to dine out, we're going to talk about incredible advertising and branding agencies. So it is completely up to you. You can decide.
I think we should eat in.
I think we should
Yes,
too. So
yes.
there it is, guys. We are going to eat in. We are making my famous banana bread.
Can't
Which we
wait.
can, I know, it's going to
Yeah.
be very exciting and fun. Which features another client, Hood, and Hood Sour Cream. But
Great.
before I do that, I think I should put on my apron.
It's a very cute
I was
apron.
laughing.
I
It's
love it.
Very Mr. Rogers
Yeah.
moment where I maybe should sing Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Carrie, you've been at Babson.
You got your Babson green on
green
for us this
and
morning.
Green Bowl.
I
I'd
love
like some
it.
credit for that.
Yeah.
You've been at Babson for
Almost 6 years.
God,
Yeah.
time goes by.
Yeah.
For 6 years, you have an incredible team.
Thank you.
And you have a great
I like to
marketing
think so. Thank you.
organization. Some incredible people. I imagine that when you got there, it didn't look like it looks today.
It did not. Very different.
Very different?
Yeah.
So, like when you got, and I have talked in the past, you sort of said when you first got there, you really had to build the team and sort of take assessment
Yeah.
of what was there. Can you talk a little bit
Yeah,
about that?
absolutely.
While I make banana
While
bread.
you make banana bread, yeah.
Don't mind the mixer.
I know, I'm so impressed with the mixer and the whole thing.
Yeah.
Wow, it's been almost over 6 years actually.
Has it been?
Yeah. 2018 I arrived at Babson. And the whole goal of going to Babson was to build enrollment marketing within the organization. In higher ed, enrollment marketing is all about revenue driving marketing, sort of building the customer journey, looking at what the institution turn it right on. Looking at what the institution needs in terms of enrollment.
the sugar.
I know, that's gonna make a lot of noise.
It is.
And then building your marketing program and planning from there. So that was what my background was at Northeastern. And if you know anything about Northeastern, they've got a tremendous enrollment
It's like a machine.
story.
That
It
is
was-
a big.
And it was such a
big
gift in
organization.
my own career to
Yeah.
help build that. And a lot of coming to Babson was about building that experience into the team. So actually when I came to the team and came to Babson, what we needed in terms of experience wasn't in the organization because that's not what the organization did, right? So it's like
Before
bringing
you
it-
got there.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like bringing a whole
Yeah.
new capacity into the
Yeah.
organization, teaching them about what does revenue driving marketing mean in higher education, and then bringing that experience into the organization.
Yeah.
The other really important part in coming to Babson and thinking about the evolution of that marketing team was identifying what does the organization need from the marketing team.
How did you do that? Like,
It
how
was-
did you have to do a lot of like internal
A lot of
conversations with
listening.
leadership teams?
Yeah, a lot of listening, a lot of asking the question like, what is the purpose of the marketing team? What's its mission? What does it need to be for the organization? I spent probably the first 6 months asking that question of every single person that I met.
You had business as usual going on
Yes,
in the
yes,
backdrop
yes,
of
yes.
all of this because you
Yes.
still had to get the make the banana bread.
Make the banana
just to
bread.
say.
That's right. Yes. And if you think about the timing, we made the banana bread in the middle of COVID. That was a
Actually,
really
I spent a lot of time making banana bread in this kitchen, so I can relate.
Yeah. So a lot of that like developing the
Yeah.
recipe, putting the ingredients together was
Way
there
to
was
play
a
the
lot
analogy
of
all
other
the way through.
things. That's right. There's a lot of other things happening
Yeah.
around us where we could not put everything in the mixer and have it come
At
out
the same time.
really beautiful. Yes.
How did you manage, like, bridging the gap between where you were and
Yeah.
where you maybe are today?
I think there was two parts. One is
keep cooking while we
identifying.
talk about
Yeah, we need to make the banana bread.
Yeah.
Identifying what were those skill gaps.
Yeah.
What did the organization need from us that we did not have in the current organization? First and foremost, a strong digital marketing experience, capability within the organization. And
They didn't have that before
they
you got
did,
there,
but
or
it
just
wasn't
as a different
as
form?
a different form,
Okay.
and it wasn't as
Yeah.
pervasive through the whole organization. It was sort of one person's job,
Yeah.
and I think we all know in today's world, like it's not one person's job anymore. It's not just one person that does digital marketing. It's
Yeah,
sort
remember
of
those days?
Yeah, like you could hire one person
Remember
to do
when there was
search.
just one person
right,
and they just
right,
did
or
that?
one person did the
Yeah.
website. It was an opportunity to skill up.
Yeah.
Right? So take people that were there and say, like, there's an opportunity here to build your skills.
Yeah.
Develop a digital acumen, develop a way to think about digital marketing
Yeah.
in your role.
Yep.
That was a lot of the work that needed to be done. Professional development.
Yeah.
And an investment, but a lot of that's free. A lot of that's pairing with really good friends to say, hey, what kinds of
She said really good
friends. Inviting my folks, let's say
Yep.
it this way, to follow others on LinkedIn,
Yeah.
to read, to engage, like all of that in the
Yeah.
professional development world is really important.
Yeah.
And it's not a heavy investment, right?
No.
We actually started there, and
That's
then
great.
we determined who needs to go to what conference.
Yeah.
Where do we need to build skills? Who needs a certificate in digital marketing? But the other piece that is really important is augmenting that team.
Yes, so tell me.
Yeah.
That is in our sweet spot.
Yeah, just
Tell me
happened to be
about
where
that.
I first encountered the marketing team at Babson, and actually
Yeah.
this happened a little bit at Northeastern too when we worked
Yeah.
together.
Yes.
There's opportunities. We talked about this, right? Skill up, upskill the people that
Yeah.
are there, but you have these gaping holes sometimes. That's not as easy as like let's just go hire somebody.
But why is that? Because I think a lot of people, when they have a skill gap,
Yeah.
they think they have to hire to the skill gap.
Yeah.
And you're more of a proponent sometimes for trying
It out
Yeah.
before you actually
Yeah.
hire. So
Yeah.
my yes, proponent for trying it out before you actually hire. And then the other pieces, and frankly, this is maybe the more important piece, is like budget and resources in
Yeah.
order, at least in my world in higher ed, I can't speak for others, but
Yeah.
in my world for higher ed, if I'm going to make changes and I need to build a new opportunity,
Yeah.
I need to think about where I'm finding that resource from other opportunities.
Yeah.
But that's a really tough decision, right?
Yes.
Because oftentimes what you're taking from needs to be equally as funded. Well, it's not as easy for me to take from, say, like an earned media position or strategy or opportunity
Yes.
to fund business analytics and digital marketing.
Yeah.
But those are growth areas for us.
Yeah. So how do you do it?
So what we've done is really augment and really go outside
Yeah.
and look for opportunities to bring in freelancers. Yeah, there's your
My hood. Yeah.
look for opportunities to bring in freelancers who maybe could bring that experience into our organization and help us start to build that
Yeah.
capacity. We've looked for opportunities to bring agencies to the table,
Yeah.
partners that can help us
Yeah.
augment our creative teams and our teams
Yeah.
that we're looking to build those skill sets
Really
on.
a lot of banana there.
There's a lot
We're
going
just
on
gonna,
there.
we're just gonna go. It's
And
gonna
I'll
be
just
delicious.
come. It's gonna be so good.
It's gonna be
It
so
already
good.
smells delicious.
Mm-hmm.
So, augmenting the creative team also brings in new ideas and
Yes.
brings in a different perspective that maybe is necessary or needed in the moment.
Right.
And it doesn't mean that we're making choices between agency and full-time staff.
Yeah.
It's really about bringing that creative experience to the table.
I think those are the most fun moments when you have a team that's growing and changing and you're coming in as an agency to be part of that
Yeah.
team. and collaborate and work together. Over the 15, 16 years that we've been in business, the freelance market is so different, and there's so much incredible creative talent and so much incredible talent out there. In your 6 years that you've been at Babson, or even if you go back to Northeastern, has your approach to thinking about when to use freelance changed?
Yes, the market, I think, has more freelance adaptability and more
there's more
experience
talent
out
out
there.
there.
There's more talent out there.
For sure.
But there's a couple of choices as to why we make, when we make freelance choices. One is, filling immediate gaps, like, maternity leaves, project based. We do a lot of incoming project work and trying to fill that gap with a freelance talent in the moment that has the right kind of experience to come in, step in immediately. We've pulled in a communications freelancer that can step in and run projects within our organization with very little direction. That's a really important augmentation of our team. But then there's also, back to what we were saying about the creative experience, it's freelancing and bringing folks to the table that can partner directly with our creative team, can go right in and sit with our creative director or our, communications team and add value right away. And those tend to be more about bringing more talent into the project or the conversation, and less about trying to fill a gap, like someone's out and I need to fill somebody
You're
in.
not filling a short-term gap. I think the filling a gap is different than augment.
Yes,
which
that's
is
right.
where I think that's a good word. To think about. I'm happy to share with
amazing.
you. The fact that I was able to talk.
I know, I'm impressed.
I'm impressed with myself.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pour this into a pan.
Okay. Let's see if we can.
And then we're going to drop it into the oven, have lots of coffee while it's cooking, and then we're going to come back.
Okay.
And I have a couple final questions.
And we're going to see how it tastes.
And we're going to, yes. Well, that was fun.
That was fun.
That was very fun.
It smells delicious.
While we're waiting for the bread to be done and you're hovering over your tea,
yeah,
I have a confession to make.
Uh-oh.
The reason that it's freezing cold in my house is that on the actual day of this shoot, when I woke up in the morning, our heat wasn't working.
Oh.
So
it is a little chilly here.
I'm sure you were feeling it.
Yep,
I'm sure you were feeling it, and that is why when the warm bread comes out of the oven, it will be an excellent accompaniment to our lovely coffee and
warm
tea.
tea. Mm-hmm. The bread.
That must
it looks
be
so
some
good.
sour cream banana bread. Would you like a slice?
I would love a slice.
I'm going to say this because I want you to be able to give a plug for Babson, which has had so many incredible awards and recognition, and the brand has grown so much. Yeah. And I know you guys have some new initiatives that you're working on. You want to talk about that for a minute?
Yeah, so, for those that don't know Babson, we're a business institution located in Wellesley, Mass.
Yep.
We are the driver of entrepreneurship education. Yep. We've been ranked number one in entrepreneurship for over 30 years, which is just such an amazing, feat for any brand. But actually, we were ranked number 2 in the country by the Wall Street Journal, which is so exciting last year. So in September, we've had just an incredible year of...
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's been
across the whole
organization. It's just a testament to Babson's brand, the outcome of the education, the return on the investment for those that do invest in Babson. There's just so much opportunity ahead in entrepreneurial education, and we're looking at AI and how that integrates into entrepreneurship and business and entrepreneurial leadership. So there's a lot to come, a lot of exciting things to come.
You've done a terrific job. Thank you very much for joining us today on Eat In and Dine Out. If you like what you saw, or you want to join us, if you're a marketing professional who might like to have a bite in my kitchen, please follow us on LinkedIn or subscribe and like us, and we'll keep the episodes coming. It's the best I can do.